Today I'm going to talk about a few things you probably want to pay attention to when you're trying to buy a business, do your acquisition, or start with a roll-up of buying a few companies at a time. If you're new to this channel, my name is Moran Pober. I'm the founder and CEO of Acquisitions.com. We're the largest community of M&A investors and entrepreneurs and people who are in the process of doing roll-ups. We were involved in 100 plus transactions over the last 3 years and now also looking to invest in companies with our fund. So every day I'm getting messages to my email, Facebook, or other social media platforms. Basically, the biggest question is, what do I need to focus on? What do I need to do? What can I do when it comes to me going out there buying businesses? And what should I focus on? What are the key things I need to focus on if I want to go out there and buy businesses? Now, obviously, there's only so much I can do in a YouTube video. I mean, I have hundreds of those videos, so you could probably go and find some more nuggets in there. But today I want to go through a few things that I just pay attention to in the last week or two of things that we'll be working on with clients on deals that I think you should probably want to pay attention to when you're looking at your deals. The first thing is the fact that no matter where you'll be, you'll probably want to feel like you're growing fast enough, right? So here's the thing. I talk to people who are running multi-billion-dollar companies. You know how they're feeling? They're feeling like they're not growing fast enough as well. I've been talking to people who never had a business before. Guess what? They're feeling like they're not growing fast enough as well. No matter where you're at, no matter what you're doing, if you have goals of improving, of becoming better, of making more money, building a bigger, better business that will make more impact on the world, you're probably going to feel like you're not growing fast enough. You're probably going to have frustrations, and that's the process. Like, we were involved at this point in a business that did more than 200 million in revenues in less than a year from scratch by acquisitions. And guess what? The people that we're working with, we don't feel like we're growing fast enough. We still feel like it's slow. No matter what you're doing, it always feel like it's slow. It always feel like it can always be better. You always feel like you can always be better. It's almost like the human mind, the human being condition of always feeling like they can always grow, always be better. That's our ego, you know? We always think like we never arrived, we're never there. There's always the jackpot is gonna be next week, next month, next year when I hit a specific milestone. And I think that when you understand that there's no jackpot, like there's always going to be a next step. I don't care if you never bought a business before and you just, let's say you buy a business next week. Guess what? When you own that business, you want to do something else. You're going to have a next step. You're always going to have a next step for as long as you're alive. Life is like a video game, right? So if you're at level 1, don't think that at level 10 you'll be more happy or fulfilled. Like, enjoy the chase. The chase is the reward of this crazy life. Easier said than done to execute on that, but I know that that's a lesson that I'm constantly reminding myself. Knowing that you're going to get to level 10, if you're going to be committed, execute, and be consistent with your work and be accountable to yourself, be in the right environment, you will get to level 10. Probably going to make a lot of mistakes in the way, but appreciate the fact that right now you're at level 1, knowing that there's only one opportunity in your life to be at level 1. And when you're going to be at level 10, you will look back to level 1 and be like, man, those were the best years. I was growing, I was hustling, I was trying, I was doing my best, I was failing, but that was so good because I learned so much about myself. And hopefully maybe you have some of those lessons from years ago. I know for me, when I'm looking at years back of some of the worst mistake in quotes of my life and lessons that I had to learn in business and mistakes and money that I lost, looking backwards, I'm like, okay, that had to happen for me to become who I am right now. And hopefully I'm going to look at some of the things I'm doing right now in a few years. I'm going to say, hey, I learned so much from that down period. And we all experience, ups and downs as entrepreneurs. If you decided to be an entrepreneur and grow and do acquisitions or do roll-ups or just be an entrepreneur in general, you're going to experience ups and downs. It's almost like you are committed to the suck. It's all a matter of perspective, of course, but it's never smooth when you're growing a business. There's always new challenges. And if there are not enough challenges, it means that you're just not growing fast enough. So you need to be okay with those challenges. And when you understand that, then you can just let go of that stress and just be committed to the journey. I think it's so important because I see people always think, okay, that next thing is going to be perfect. Everything is going to be smooth. And then if it's not working, they're just giving up. The biggest favor you can give yourself is just not giving up and understanding that everyone feel like they're not growing fast enough, and it's okay, right? So enjoy that journey of feeling like you're not growing fast enough and just be around the people that can help you get there faster so you won't make mistakes, so you will accelerate your progress, so you'll be accountable for yourself and others. Second of all, team members alignment. I don't care if it's people that are helping you to grow the business, if it's advisors, employees, executives, anything. When you have a vision and you're the front person of that vision, the business is going to be a reflection of you. And those people need to be all aligned to your vision. If they're not aligned, the business won't grow. Good businesses only grow because of good people. And for that business to be big and good, those people need to be in alignment towards that vision of the entrepreneur, of the visionary, of the CEO, founder, whoever that person is. Now, for those people to be aligned with your vision, you need to ask yourself, do you know enough about them? Do you know about their goals, their personal, professional goals, right? Do you know what they want with their life? Because if you don't know what they want with their life and you're not trying to help them achieve that, why do you think that they will work hard to help you achieve your goals, right? In the end of the day, call it karma, call it back and forth, just give and take. You gotta help them for them to help you. And only when they'll realize that they're growing in order to help themselves, and by doing that, the business will grow, then it's going to be a good cycle and alignment, and everyone are going to work together. But if you just tell them, hey, here's a $20 an hour, or 50 or $100 or $1,000 an hour, it doesn't matter. But when it's only about money, it's not enough when you're trying to grow big businesses. There is a reason that some of those biggest businesses in the world have things like values, like vision, like different things that they're constantly repeating back to their employees to make sure that they're aligned, and to make sure that if there's no alignment, they're just letting go of people. That's how you bring good, loyal people, right? And you need to also talk about the vision and where you're trying to take things, because getting someone for 20, 30, $1,000 an hour, I don't care what's the number, but if there's no vision to go towards and you're not talking about that vision constantly, it's not going to be exciting. Like for me right now, we want to work on roll-ups in dozens of industries and take all of them public and work with thousands of entrepreneurs, thousands of business owners, thousands of scouts to create those roll-ups, thousands of investors. That's the vision of what I'm doing here with acquisitions.com and other things and brands that are going to come in soon. Now, we are in the process already of doing that, but I just want to exponentially grow that, right? That's the vision. When I'm talking to my team members, I'm constantly reminded that I'm not even 10th of where I want to be right now with my business and what we're doing here. And you guys you see a little bit of the front end, but there's so many things on the back end that we are working on. And hopefully, who knows, maybe some of you are listening to this video will feel like, you know what, for some reason, I like this crazy person with weird accent, and I feel like I can be aligned with his vision. And that's the reason I'm doing those videos, to share, first of all, things that I'm constantly learning while I'm working, and to hopefully attract the people that will align with my values, with my vision, in a way that is a win-win scenario for everyone. So all of us could build more wealth and just, you know, create something exponentially that is good, better, that can impact the world in such a scale, and just, of course, enjoy, laugh, cry, you know, partner at the same time while we're working towards those bigger, better, you know, goals that we have. So that was the second thing, alignment. Third thing is a bit different, but revenue per employee. Guys, if you want to grow, you gotta track your revenue per employee. Track it the same way that you track in cash flow. Hopefully you're looking at your cash flow daily. You want to track your revenue per employee and make sure that you're staying aligned and consistent and committed to the margins that you are committed to have in your business based on the best businesses out there in your sector. Because if you're allowing your margin to go down, you won't make money. And again, I've seen people running $100 and billion companies who are barely making money. And that's, again, easier said than done, of course, but it comes down to small things and small accountability, by you constantly looking at the reports and by you constantly reminding your team, your role here is to create extra $500,000, $1 million in revenues, whatever your numbers are. But I can tell you, if you're making below 100,000 or 70,000 per employee, you are not making money most likely. So don't compromise your numbers. Always chase those margins. Your profits, your revenues, you shouldn't neglect them even when you're growing. And even when our companies are raising capital and they're growing fast, they constantly need to pay attention to those numbers. What's the revenue per employee, and how are we going towards the forecast and budget that we created? Last tip for today is do more of what's working. It's so easy to, neglect what's working and to always look for the grass is always greener syndrome. And it comes to everything in life, if it's a different business model, if it's a new relationship, you always think the grass is always greener. And sometimes it is, but many times it's literally the fact that you're just not staying consistent and committed enough to be successful with what you're doing. So ask yourself, what worked for me last year in my business, in my life? I'm talking right now specifically, obviously, for acquisition entrepreneur. But if you closed last year a deal where the deal flow the deal came from a specific source, ask yourself, what can I do to exponentially do more of that specifically, instead of chasing dozens of other deal flow strategies that perhaps will take me more time to learn. I'll have a learning curve to go through to even understand what it looks like, to go through that process of learning that, right? Instead of just doubling down of what's working. Same with what revenue sources you have. Who are your best clients? What can you do to double down on those things, to do more of those things, instead of thinking, okay, the grass is greener and let's test hundreds of other stuff. And if you did a unicorn deal, what happened for you to find that deal, right? What did you do? How did you talk to the investors, the capital partners, the employees, the clients? Find the language, the scripts, the channel that you used, right? Do those things and find more unicorns like that by doubling down on what's working. So those are my tips for today. Hopefully you got some value, guys. Like, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what you'd like me to talk about. We're going to do giveaways and whatnot for future stuff of Amazon gift cards. So it's worth you doing comments and liking and all that. With that being said, hopefully you got some value, and I'll see you soon.